Have you ever met someone who knows almost nothing about a subject, yet speaks as if they personally invented the truth? They never hesitate. They never say, "I don't know," and somehow, they always have an answer. The strange part is that confidence and intelligence are not the same thing. In fact, sometimes the less someone understands, the harder it becomes for them to realize how much they don't understand. And psychology has a name for one important part of this phenomenon, the Dunning-Kruger Effect. But before we judge anyone, there's something uncomfortable we need to understand. This isn't just about stupid people, because every human being, including you, me, and the smartest person alive, can fall into the same psychological trap. The real question isn't, who is stupid? The real question is, how can someone be wrong and genuinely believe they're right? Imagine you learn something new for the first time. At first, everything seems simple. You learn 5 basic facts, understand 3 simple concepts, and suddenly, you feel like an expert. Why? Because you don't yet know enough to see the complexity. When knowledge is low, the map in your head can be dangerously incomplete, but because the map is incomplete, you don't see the missing parts, and that creates an illusion, the illusion of knowledge. This is where overconfidence begins. Here's the fascinating part. People who truly understand complicated subjects often know how complicated those subjects really are. So they say things like, "It depends," "I'm not completely sure," "There's more context." The person who knows less may do the opposite. They simplify everything. They remove the nuance. They turn uncertainty into certainty. And suddenly, they sound extremely convincing. But there's another force making this problem worse: the ego. When someone strongly identifies with being the smart one, admitting ignorance becomes painful. Because saying, "I don't know," can feel like losing status. So instead of learning, they defend. Instead of asking questions, they argue. Instead of changing their mind, they search for reasons they were right all along. This is called confirmation bias. You believe something first, then you selectively notice evidence that agrees with you and ignore evidence that challenges you. This creates a dangerous cycle. The less you know, the more confident you become. The more confident you become, the less likely you are to question yourself. And the less you question yourself, the less you learn. And now the cycle feeds itself. Confidence becomes a substitute for competence. And that's when confidence becomes dangerous. Now add the internet. Suddenly, everyone has access to information. But access to information is not the same as understanding. You can watch one video, read one article, and suddenly believe you've mastered an entire field. The algorithm doesn't care whether you're an expert. It cares whether you keep watching. So the loudest opinion can sometimes travel faster than the most accurate one. And confidence is extremely clickable. So, how do you recognize someone trapped in this mindset? First, they speak with absolute certainty about complicated subjects. Second, they rarely admit uncertainty. Third, criticism makes them angry instead of curious. Fourth, they attack the person instead of answering the argument. And fifth, they stop learning because they believe they already know enough. But here's the uncomfortable twist. The easiest person to diagnose as overconfident might be the person looking back at you in the mirror. The smartest response to realizing you might be wrong isn't embarrassment. It's curiosity. The next time you feel completely certain, pause and ask, what would I need to learn to discover that I'm wrong? Because intelligence isn't knowing everything. It's knowing where your knowledge ends and having the humility to keep learning.